Tide Community Group and Foundation. It's going to really be under the same umbrella. From a foundation perspective, we've started the process of filing all the legal filings and starting all the tax papers and documentation. There's another parent at Tide who's graciously offered to help us with that process, and so that's been underway since the beginning of summer, and that should be done and wrap up within the next 6 to 7 weeks. And at that point, we'll also have the 501c3 under us as well. That said, what we've been really focused on is trying to look for committees and trying to figure out how to really structure this in a way that's really simple, especially because we don't have a lot of students. We don't need to overcomplicate this like a large school district. And our focus really needs to be on supporting the community, supporting the students, supporting the teachers. Providing the financial resources is nice, and it's an add to value that we can provide. But it's really about building community and really trying to support the teachers and the students more than anything else. And so the committees that we've started to build out, I'll walk through what some of them are, and then you'll have the opportunity. We have some sign-up sheets to pass around. If people are interested in either leading a committee or participating in a committee, we would absolutely love people's involvement. We'd be ecstatic to have people involved, and the more people that can be involved and give energy and time, the better that this Tide School will be and everyone's experience here. Some of the committee areas that we have, and there's a number of you who are already heading committees, so if you're here, definitely raise your arm. So teacher and staff appreciation, we have 2 people that are currently chairing that. I don't know that I see either of them here right now, but what they're going to be focused on is doing a teacher-staff appreciation week, being able to provide goodies for the teachers once a month, and being able to do different types of lunches quarterly. The first 2 weeks of school, there was a group of us that provided lunches for the staff, and that was really helpful for them. They had more time then to focus on the students and preparing their classrooms. The next area is communication, and Emily is spearheading the communication committee. And Emily will definitely be looking for people to help her on that committee, and that includes everything from receiving emails to starting a newsletter to updating the social media and the websites. So if anyone feels really passionate or excited about that, please sign up on the sheet for that, and Emily would love support and resources to help her do that. The next is the Tide community, and Karen is going to be leading that committee, and it will be focused on really trying to coordinate community building within Tide. That might include a different type of event, an ice cream social, bringing in speakers, and so Karen will work on what that really looks like over the course of the year. If anyone is interested in participating and helping out on that committee, definitely go see Karen, or again, you can sign up on this and Karen will reach out to you. Another area has to do with really the fundraising area, so donor development in particular and corporate development. So from a donor development standpoint, once the foundation is set up and the paperwork is complete, being able to figure out what our strategy is for donor development, both in terms of leveraging students and families, but also going outside the school and looking at corporations. Do we do different types of grants and applications? Do we leverage corporate matching programs? What does that really look like? So we need a couple folks that are really passionate and excited about doing that to help plan out what that looks like and what that strategy is. And then from there to help us set up what that infrastructure even looks like to be getting donations. And that includes being able to collect the donations online. It includes the tax pieces, it includes the messaging, and so there's a lot of different pieces to that. So the more people that have experience in those areas and want to be involved, please definitely let me know or sign up on the sheet as well. Finance and administration, we definitely need someone who has some familiarity with taxes, especially for nonprofits. And so if you or anyone else you know is interested in that, definitely let us know. And that also includes helping with the online payment system as we set that up. It's not a complicated thing to do with online payments and then taking in the donations, but it's just someone needs to manage it. The next area has to do with campus beautification, and this is actually an idea that Allison brought to the table that they were doing in Half Moon Bay. And the concept is being able to continually look for other ways within the school that we can create visual projects that might promote sustainability or have different fun themes or banners or plantings, things that are really visually appealing to help welcome the students and the staff and really make this feel like it's part of our community. That is all I have for foundation. And as we're calling it now, what are we calling it? goodness, we've gone back and forth on the name for this so many times. Do we call it parents group? Do we call it community group? Do we call it foundation? And so I believe where we finally have landed is Tide Community Group and Foundation. In any case, does anyone have any questions before I turn it over to Allison?
Do we have a number for this foundation already?
That's what we're finishing up the process for in terms of the tax ID. Yes, we'll have that soon.
So once everything,
Yes, that's right. Okay. And we should be having that hopefully in the next 2 months.
2 months?
If not sooner, the process is underway. Any other questions? I'll send out the sheets. But we're very excited to have everyone participate in helping out in any way that you possibly can.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you all here. Allison Silvestri again, principal here at Tide. I have had the absolute sheer joy and pleasure of enjoying your children for the last 10 days. We are already in week 3, we're almost at the end of it, yet it's only been 10 days. So a lot has taken place in what I would consider to be a very, very short amount of time. So hopefully, many of you joined us prior to the school year for Street Code and for our coding camp, which was really successful and a really good time had by all, in my opinion. They can speak to that, of course, as well. And then it was really cool that we got to kick off with a different kind of day. And because we're a small school, we're an innovative school, we were able to offer kind of workshops for your kids the first day of school to orient them to Tide, to the schedule, to Nucleus. I got to do the very exciting evacuation drill. How I got stuck with that is beyond me. But the students did a nice job sticking with me as I ran them through how to get out of here if anything goes wrong. So it's been a whirlwind. We also had our first challenge day, which took place over at Facebook campus. I'm sure most of your children were very few missed the day. Hopefully they had a really positive experience at the retreat. The day really is about building empathy and respect, breaking down barriers and walls, and then working to see how we can be the change in the world and be the change here at Tide. So it was a wonderful day retreat, a lot of amazing adult volunteers. So we were really fortunate also that Facebook was able to host us. We just don't have a space large enough right now to host on our campus. Moving forward, once the classrooms are finished on the first or second floor, we'll be able to host right here on site. So that'll be in the years to come. And that'll be when our founding students will then be the mentors for our younger class people. If you did sign up to volunteer for Challenge Day and you were not contacted, the reason is because when I reached out to Challenge Day, they said it's really not a great idea to have the parents of the actual participants leading group. And so we hold that space sacred. But that does not mean that in the future years I will not be calling and saying, please come help me. We have barely had enough volunteers this time. So your help and participation will be needed as we grow in the years to come. Makerspace has been well utilized and underway. Students have been conducting labs in their physics classes, which I'm sure they can tell you all about. Thumbs up, that's good for Mr. Stagg. Mr. K in geometry and statistics and algebra 2 course has been doing phenomenal tech work. Today, I saw students standing at the front of the class. They were casting 4 different group projects, and they had to get up and defend why they felt their answer was in fact correct and or the best response. So a lot of really high tech going on, which is really impressive. We will be having, tomorrow is Thursday of the month will be a shorter day, 3 o'clock release. Next week we do a back to school night on Thursday night. Great chance to meet all of the teachers, hear what they're doing in their classrooms, what units they're going to be rolling out. That'll be 6 to 8. We will not have a formal gathering that night. I'm going to push into one of the classrooms with the teachers, and then we will go ahead and we're also going to have an introduction to Canvas. Any of you familiar with School Loop or Power School? Okay, so this is the platform that we'll be using, and it's called Canvas. Thank God Lucy and Micah are very, very experienced with Canvas. That's how our teachers are pushing out all of their curriculum. And I'm getting trained very soon because I cannot figure out how to send you all an email. Not that you would get it anyway because you're probably not signed up for Canvas. So we're going to have a mini workshop next week in Miss Cole's class, held by our tech integration specialist, Mr. Claykel. So we're really fortunate that that is going to take place during back to school night. And then the day after is a true minimum day. We have several during the year, but when we have evening events that are formalized, the day after must be a minimum day. The two examples I will give you, and the only two we have, will be back to school night and then open house. And that open house will take place in the spring. Please be looking at our website on a regular ongoing basis. We're trying to catch up to speed on that calendar and trying to get everything loaded in. We've just been a little bit busy, so we're doing our best to get all of our dates up on the calendar on the website. I also tried kicking off our parent community page today. That was an epic disaster, so I need to go back and talk to the people about catapults to the platform we use. So I'm going to go back and just have some people remind me how to do these things. And then I'm going to update the parent community page to reflect all of our dates, to reflect presentations, to reflect opportunities, contact information. I'm also working right now to get our athletic and activities page up. We are starting our cross-country program. Hopefully in the second week of September. Our biggest challenge is that your kids have to get athletic clearance. So it will involve a doctor's appointment, which we know are nightmares to get. So there is a form that I will also be uploading there. Miss Ojeda and Miss Dr. Koch are going to be the coaches. So they're going to split the days during the week. They're going to have some morning sessions and some afternoon sessions. So we're really excited to give that opportunity to our students. Then we will have soccer and basketball in the winter. We have secured a field in Sequoia High School, and we have reserved basketball courts at Redwood High School, Redwood Continuation High School, or Alternative High School. So we're really excited to kick off our athletic programs as well for our students. A few other things. Yeah.
Any cuts in that, or is that everybody involved?
No.
Like anybody else?
Yeah, because in our
Basketball?
so in our first year, we cannot actually compete as a school. It takes a year to get us certified as CIF. So everybody who wants to play is welcome to play. I do want to set up, and I've been working with Dr. Koch to set up some scrimmages and opportunities for us to compete against other small schools. So hopefully we'll be reaching out to Woodside Priory, Sacred Heart Prep, just small schools in our area. Menlo School, I think they're getting pretty big. So we're really looking forward to giving them some authentic opportunities. Dr. Koch has already gone out and run one of the paths he'd like to see. Miss Ojeda has gone over to the gym very close by. It's not the most awesome. It's got things we can do in there. It's got weights. It's got other machines that we can use as we're continuing to order things for our school. So really excited to do some strength and conditioning work as well.
When you have things on site at these other schools, there's bus service there after school.
It's going to have to be carpools at this point because we're just scrimmaging. And so I think, as we build out over the years, that's going to be something that the foundation is going to have to think about how we might fund probably more privatized transportation. And then too, at that point, once we grow big enough, I'll be able to negotiate with the district for us to use their buses to take us to competitions. So those will be some things that we're going to, as an adult community, have to kind of figure out as we go along. And then this opportunity is also going to take place, so every month when we meet, we will also have a meeting on a Friday morning. That way, if families cannot make it in the evening, due to whatever challenges those might be, there'll be an opportunity in the morning to come in and kind of repeat what we've done here. So just want to make sure that people have access. Do you have anything you want to share, my friends back there? Lucy, Micah? Can you tell them one good thing that's gone on so far for you? A highlight?
It's all been pretty great, so.
Good. I'll take that. Micah? Okay. Positive endorsements. We like those. So now I just want to open it up for questions. If I cannot answer a question, I will be very frank and candid and let you know, and then I'll go back and get the answer for you. So this is the time for you to ask all your curiosities. A facilities update. I just had a facilities meeting yesterday. I was really excited for us to get to come up to this space. I know it's not totally done yet, but I wanted you to get to see another part of the campus. Of course, this beautiful furniture that our students will get to enjoy, hopefully within the week, meaning end of next week, we're hoping that the cafeteria can be stamped seal of approval. It takes a long time with state processes, especially in schools, to get the inspectors to check us off and clear us. So we will be, I believe, in my honest opinion, they keep telling us timelines that are not quite, when I have a deadline, I have a deadline. They have a deadline. And their deadline is really a flexible timeline. So it is my hope that by the end of October, we're really going to see this campus cleared out, if you will, of construction. They are doing split shifts right now because certain projects that they have to do are too noisy for us to be able to educate our students. So I have worked with them and talked to them about some of the things that are causing us a little bit of strife and grief, especially in places with acoustics that are not exactly the best for teaching and learning. So again, hoping the cafeteria will be up within a week and a half, although then away goes the free food and the seconds for some of you. For those who qualify for free and reduced lunch, that will not be the case. And as the weeks go on, I'm really looking forward to when they start their landscaping. And again, I see this as like a first step in landscaping, and then hopefully with the beautification committee, we can also take a look and personalize what we want to see here on this site. So excited about that, and excited about, again, seeing the front of school clear. I really want that fence gone. Yeah?
The construction by the end of October, does that include the second floor, or
Yes.
is that a future phase, or is it completely done?
No, it's not done right now.
No, by the end of October.
Yes, by the end of October, but we will not be utilizing the second floor this year, unless we do a big event, which we'll hold potentially. That's based on students and their leadership, maybe an assembly, of which we can use the 3 classrooms upstairs, open them up and have an assembly. So that'll be coming soon.
I was just wondering if you guys had a lockdown drill and let that be here.
Yes, so we have not had one yet. Right now, the only drills that I have scheduled for is the Great Shakedown October. I think it's 17th at 10:17 in the morning. I'm coupling that with I just did it last night, burning the midnight oil. I coupled, I think, that with a fire drill. So we will be doing a lockdown drill. So Enrique Navas from the district office, he is our assistant superintendent of fiscal services. He is retiring very soon, and then assistant superintendent Leach is taking over. They have been overlapping. And so we have noticed some areas of concern in terms of lockdowns. So right now what we're doing is we're working to tint the windows in places where we don't have shades that pull down at this juncture. The tint will be so that people on the outside cannot see in, but we can see out. So there are some things that when we worked with our school resource officer, Trask, who was with us for Challenge Day, she pointed out some areas of concern, and we are working to address those. So we will be doing a lockdown drill soon, because we do need to make sure we can also legitimately try it out, because I then wanted to walk through with her and see other things that she might have missed. So she's been on campus several times to take a look, so we can add to construction projects. So yeah, and I just put through the order today for cameras, so those will be coming in soon. Just another way of deterring and also helping us to monitor our campus. So those should be coming shortly. Yeah.
So, when she was talking about development and looking for people to help raise money through corporate, is there an issue where we have to have a certain amount of money coming in through corporate to keep the school going, or is it, what exactly is the percentages of that? How does that work?
So in my experience, foundations have always been able to supplement and go above and beyond that which the district funds. So I am not worried about the funding here at Tide. As we grow, we're obviously going to hire more teachers. We're going to be buying more computers. We're going to be buying more furniture. We're going to be, doing all the things that needed to be done during the planning phase. But really what it's for is let's say we want to start a drama program. And maybe the site budget, my budget, can't support paying somebody $35,000 for their after school time to go ahead and teach our students drama and then put on a production. So that was when I might come to the foundation and say, hey, can you help? In Half Moon Bay, I often came to the foundation and said, hey, can you help me get smaller class sizes? Because I only get a finite amount based on students. And so I would come to the foundation and say, would you fund one section for me of, call it computer science and computer programming? And that would be something that the foundation would fund. Special events, sometimes speaker series that cost money, or field trip here and there. So things that again go above and beyond our site budget. That's supplies and conferences and basics.
Or if there's a special field trip that they may take a small group of kids on as well, and some of the kids might need those costs supplemented. And so again, we'll be able, as a group, the foundation team will go through and be able to prioritize what things are most important for the students in the school.
Absolutely.
But it's additive.
Yes. Is that good? Amy?
Sorry, just
For a more mainstream, if you will, 32. We try keeping the numbers around 27. The challenge here at Tide is that we're such a small school, it's hard to play around with the master schedule. Also with the selection of math courses and where students are entering our school, that's caused a little bit of a strain as well. But our intention was to keep it at 27, but it really just fluctuated based on kind of what the student need really is truly what it came down to. Yeah.
So what are the numbers of the students right now?
Total, 106?
Do we know the ratio of female?
Yes, well, who can do math in here? We have 38 women, girls. So we're about 40%, 60%. And we want to work to change that. We want to work to attract a 50-50 ratio in the years to come. So we're working on marketing. And we'll be having a 8th grade open house night, and then I'll be going out to do recruitment at schools. And the 8th grade open house night is on the calendar. And then our students will be joining their leadership nucleus class. That's on Thursdays. And one of the groups is actually going to be student ambassadors. And so they're going to be doing a lot of the work with me and with their teacher to help promote Tide in our greater community around us. They'll be really instrumental in planning that 8th grade night and what it looks like. So they're going to be doing a lot of work in preparation for that. So it's exciting.
Which kids are doing that?
They haven't been assigned yet. They took a survey, and it's my job, hopefully by Tuesday, to have those classes ready to go. But they are going to be spending 3 weeks on a mascot project. So we're really excited for them to get a mascot. We have a really nice process drawn out. And in addition to that, today one of our students actually designed a PE t-shirt and uniform to the chagrin of his buddy next to him, who said, "I'm really small, and I always look stupid in those PE outfits, and I didn't want a uniform." So it was kind of funny that he did this beautiful design and graphic that we'll be able to order. And the student right next to him said, "I don't look good in those." So anyway, but it'll be something to unite us. It'll be our kind of, as we try and get our swag gear going, that'll give them at least something to have that has Tide on it.
Can we get a store with like magnets and things like that?
Yeah, so I think as soon as we can get our mascot up, that's when we'll really start marketing and branding. I'd like to do t-shirts, obviously, sweatshirts and hoodies, Yeti cups, it's really cool, whatever they want actually, lanyards for holding their ID or keys, and magnets, bumper stickers, bumper decals. I know no one wants to put stuff on their car necessarily. So we're going to really be able to go big. And I think at this point, while this was the symbol, I think that might kind of morph. We can still have this, and we do have some shirts, but I think whatever the students designed is really what we're going to go with.
So for the time being, the PE, there's no uniform?
Dr. Koch has asked them to bring in shorts and a t-shirt. He has built a boys' locker room. Believe it or not, didn't know that was possible. So he has created a boys' locker room, and then the girls, we have very few that are fully participating in PE, so they'll be able to change in the bathroom just over here.
So for the classes, we're talking about the class size 27 to 32. Is it going to be different levels on assessment to put students in different levels in the math and sciences? Especially math.
Everyone's in physics. That's the only class being offered. Next year, everyone will be in chemistry. The following year, everybody will be in biology. It doesn't mean they won't double up. Some students might want to take, let's say, anatomy and physiology through Foothill or Chabot. So that's going to be possible, our dual enrollment or concurrent enrollment, either way. Right now, there are students who come in without algebra experience, so they're taking algebra and geometry. We have some students who need a study skills class, so they're only enrolled in algebra. And we have some students that came in with algebra, they're taking geometry. And then we have some students that have already passed geometry and they're taking algebra too. So we're kind of all over the place. It's my job to work to mainstream that over the next few years. I have some ideas. I'm going to be meeting with the assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction to go over what I envision would be the best pathway for our students, which is a more integrated pathway.
On the dual enrollment, what is guidance for one versus more courses if we feel as parents that there's room?
That is your call. We can do dual enrollment is free through Foothill College, and we actually have 32 of our students enrolling in dual enrollment. I met with a student yesterday who was really interested in language. Unfortunately, at this time, Foothill's language in Spanish language program is closed, but she said, well, I've looked through other universities and I'd like to take it through X university. And she said, my dad's going to pay for it. I said, fine, you can do whatever you want. That's not a problem, which is so cool. And I think that just being here, I can't believe our 9th graders are going to take a college course. And it's really exciting. And then all students will be taking a college course regardless of whatever math level they're in. Everyone's going to take an online course called Art 15A. And so that's really exciting, so they can have their first experience, meaning all students will have an experience taking a college course, and that will be supported by Ms. Bittner, our art and makerspace teacher. At the college and university. The only summer school that we will need to start offering, and I'm hoping that it's not this year, would be if students needed remediation or they didn't pass a course. Those are the only times that Sequoia Union offers summer school.
For summer, there are the internships offered.
Not at this time, but we will be building that out. I need the opportunity to meet with our business partners. I've been trying to negotiate heavily with Facebook. If any of you know a person higher up than who I know, please let me know, because they're giving me a lot of no's, and I don't like being told no. So we will be building out our internship programs. I'm also partnering with Ms. Burkle from the district office, who came and helped our students enroll in their college courses. She's our CTE coordinator, and also will help with internships and setting those up. So there will be a process. I'm working with a friend of mine from San Mateo High School. He has run the biotech summer intern program for the last 10 years. And so working with him to kind of figure out these inroads, I have to believe that if our students, his students can intern at Genentech, that there's got to be a way for our students to be able to intern at Facebook. I just can't imagine this non-disclosure being the end-all be-all. So we will be working to build those opportunities out for students, yes. Not in the cafeteria, but teachers in their classrooms have been offering to allow students to heat up food. We've allowed students to heat up food in the staff lounge. I don't believe there will be a microwave, but I will look into that. I think that'd be one of those, I don't know. So you put it in the minutes? Okay, thank you. I will look into that and I'll blast that out. Yeah.
Currently, there's a school nurse on site. I think there's some requirements of how many hours the nurse has to be on site.
So Heidi, who was with us also on Challenge Day, will be here. She's here on Thursdays. She's checked in with the students who have medical needs. And in the meantime, we are working to procure another part-time nurse. And then I have had the great pleasure of putting on gloves. And students said to me, why are you doing that? I said, I watched this video about bloodborne pathogens. Let me tell you about it. And so Ms. Myra and I are also doing basic triage. If it's bigger than that, we will be calling you to come get them. And of course, if the worst scenario ever took place, we will call 911. Yeah.
Have you thought any more about shifting the hours?
Yes, and I got feedback on a survey that Mr. K and I designed. So yes, I want to get that out to our parent community. I'm going to meet with him again tomorrow. Left it in the notes, please. Sorry, my memory, I know. That I do need to reach out to him again. I met with him
What's
today. This is Mr. Carditzis.
Mr. K.
Yeah, we met today, and that was the one agenda item I forgot to cover with him. So yes, we will be circling back and looking at hours of instruction, meaning start times. If anybody's comfortable, I'd be curious to know how many people are struggling with the traffic because of the start and end time. I know I am. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to see, and it's going to have to be one of those where we take a pulse and make the best decision. I'm also concerned in years moving forward with a 4 o'clock end time, our students are not going to be able to participate in sports, and if they do, they're going to be missing a significant amount of school on a daily basis. So that's something that we will have to consider. I know we're not sold as a comprehensive high school, necessarily a big comprehensive high school. We do have students with a lot of interest in participating in sports. So I do want to honor the whole child, and so that's something that we will be considering. So a survey will be going out to parents, just asking you for feedback. I had 2 different feedbacks about the survey Mr. K and I wrote, and they were very different, so he and I will sit down and figure it out one last time and kick it out to you to give us some
You're
feedback.
talking about moving at like 8:30. What are you talking about moving times? specifically?
Well, better to align with some of the other schools in our district. So we're looking maybe 8:15, 8:30. Getting them out significantly earlier and getting them home earlier. For our students who are riding the bus, they're getting home at 5 o'clock, some of them. So that's a long, long day, especially when they're starting on the bus around 8. What's up, Lucy? You look depressed?
To help fundraising, are you considering the Silvestri, the donation by per family or per kid? Like how this would do it, right? Any solution on that?
So, depending on the demographic of school, I've had schools that have, and these are public schools that have literally required donations. I've had schools that have asked or suggested. I think given our demographic, we can't mandate that. We have quite a few students that are on free and reduced lunch. We have students and families that are struggling right now financially, and so I would hate to put an extra burden that they would not be able to meet. Again, we will go out for a request and ask. And I think as we grow, we'll figure out what that looks like. Because different organizations require different needs. And so when I was at Half Moon Bay, we had a particular ask for our foundation and a particular ask from our athletic boosters. Versus at Akalani's, we had a particular ask from the community foundation, meaning external of just Akalani's. They were a larger organization. And then there was an internal ask by our parent family group. So I think we'll have to figure that out. We had to shift those numbers over time.
Do you have like a goal of fundraising this year? Like you're aspiring for any number?
I can't know because I don't know what we need. So at this point, it's more of a matter of I will know at the end of this year what our students want, what our families want, what our staff wants and needs, and then I'll be able to give a better informed answer to that. I came on and started the foundation at Half Moon Bay, and so part of it was over time saying this is now the goal. These are things that we really need every year, and so there was that. You get out the thermometer and beg people to give you money. So yeah, we'll know more as we go down the line this year.
Is there a projected date for completion of construction?
Well, there's the company's projected date, and then there's the reality. So I've had several conversations with our district project manager, and in all reality, we're probably looking at January, where they're not walking around with a paintbrush going, there's a spot there, there's a spot there, this little piece of concrete needs to be fixed. So, because as the construction's gone on, things have gotten a little dinged up here and there. So, we're cautious in January. And if it happens before then, but everyone's being really flexible, and I really appreciate that. We are rolling with it, so.
So the end of October date that you mentioned earlier is for the rough stuff to get out of here?
Yeah, I think again, they predict the end of September. I don't agree with that timeline, so we're thinking probably the end of October, where it won't look like a full construction zone. Because right now, we look like a construction zone still. So I think end of October, again, that's when we're going to start the punch lists. This tile fell off, yeah.
At the last information meeting at the Square Ops, we met a new young PE teacher, and then I was told by my son this week that there wasn't a PE teacher the first few days, and what happened there? What?
We do not know. She chose not to have a meeting with us. She just resigned at 11 o'clock one night the day before school. So I don't know what happened. We had plenty of meetings. I can't speak for what caused her to, if I had a guess, the commute. She was in South San Jose. That's a brutal commute. That would be a guess, but I don't know because she didn't engage in a meeting with us. Yeah.
So
but
do we have someone now?
Yeah, Dr. Koch started Monday, you guys? When did Dr. Koch start? Can't remember. Or the week before? Friday? Oh, yeah, he was with Challenge Day with us. Yes. So he's great. He's got 19 years of experience in the field. He believes in whole child education and mental health and wellness. And we have a mandatory, it's mandatory that we teach sexual health education to ninth graders in the state of California. There will be an opt-out if parents choose to not have their child participate. But he's going to actually we have to do some on-site work before this organization comes. We partner with Health Connect. And so he's actually volunteered to do this because it must be taught in the science courses. And Mr. Stagg does not have that background nor experience. And so it's really cool that he's like, I can do this. I'm happy to do this. I've got a curriculum. I'm like, no, you just teach what they tell you to teach. But so he's a great guy. He comes with a lot of experience, a lot of enthusiasm. He's really excited to coach and get kids involved in both individual and team sports. So he's going to speak to you on Thursday next week. And really, for those of you whose students participate in external athletic and sports, and he wants to actually try and have a conversation about why he wants your children to participate in the activity day. So he's really excited.
So there's no gym, and then also that's never gonna, that's not part of the plan to have a gym, or is going to be a gym?
Not on this site, but Sequoia Union High School
We're gonna
District.
use the other schools.
Well, Sequoia Union is actually looking for other land and space down here. So that might be part of the next phase. In the meantime, he is very creative, and I'm going to be probably sending out to you a year-long walking field trip form, because he'd like to take them down to the water. He's found a space where they can do, so he wants to combine science and PE. So he wants to be able to take students down to Bedwell Park. He found a place where he feels like he can do track and field work, a lot of cardio. So he's very creative. Ms. Ojeda found the gym right here, so we can do core workouts. But I need to be able to get your students off campus, your children off campus. So we're going to help you do a standing walking field trip form for the whole year. And that way, once a week, if he chooses to take them off site, you can. And again, if you push that information out to you via Canvas, hey, we're going to be off site this week, just a heads up.
And so they do that during PE class.
Yeah.
What are they doing while they're not going off campus for PE?
He's doing a lot of the other standards of health education. And teaching to the standards of PE standards. They're also logging their hours. Part of it is they have to show proof that they are getting exercise outside of the school day, because we don't have the hours embedded for them to actually meet the state requirements. That's why it's an independent study PE opportunity. So it's pretty cool.
So there is no way around the campus, they can, at the lunchtime, they can play.
Right now with the construction, no, I got in trouble today. I had a student who needed a timeout, needed a lot of energy, and he said, "What are we going to do?" He goes, "I need to go run." I said, "All right." So I take him outside and I said, "You're going to do 5 sprints," and I send him past the green fence. So the green fence is our symbol of you cannot go beyond the green fence. That's to keep us and the contractors and workers separated. Well, and I didn't pay attention, and the guy flagged me with the stop sign, literally. So there are parameters right now, but once the green fencing is gone, we could definitely have them do work around the campus. He has, we've got pickleball, we've got basketball courts, portable basketball hoops. So we're going to just try and figure out how to use our space, but we have to kind of wait for the construction to end. But he had been doing stairs and cardio and games, and today they played some hit each other with the noodle game. I don't know what they were doing. They were playing tag, and so he's got them up and active. He's really, really creative. He's a great, great guy.
Two separate questions. First, is there an official dress code? Like, let's say girls, spaghetti strap, or boys, girls. Anyway, how many big holes on jeans? I don't know. Or is that something
In the handbook, in the planner.
Okay, I didn't do that. Second, sorry. And the second is the facility use. How much of the facility is usable after school? For example, let's say eventually there's like a robotics club or something like that. Is it or some kind of club that's offered?
We're going to get that off the ground on Facebook right now. That is in the works.
So, and we don't have to go with a lot on campus on site. Then, is there staff? I'm assuming even if a parent is willing to volunteer for that, let's say, I don't know, it's like a debate club or something, that there would need to be staff here, like a facility manager. Is that kind of in the works in the future?
So our custodian is on site until 7:45 each night, so the facility can be open and be used. All we would need to do is make sure that if you do want to volunteer, we go through the process of clearing you as a volunteer. So it does include fingerprinting, TB testing, the various real kind of basic requirements, and then yes, you would be able to volunteer. It'd be nice to have a teacher sponsor, but I don't believe it would be essential and totally necessary.
But students can start their own lunch clubs and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, well, Ms. Bittner already started a fashion club, which Lucy, you're in, right? You're not doing the fashion club? And yeah, and Ms. Cole's doing a book club. So teachers have started a few. I have a meeting tomorrow. Oh, I think I have a meeting tomorrow at 2:25, or maybe it was today and I missed it. I have a student who wants to start a game club. And so they're starting to come up with these ideas and get really creative, which is really cool. So yeah, so game club, and then like I said, I'm partnering. A person from Facebook reached out to me and said, do you have a robotics program? Are you interested in one? And I said, absolutely. I say yes to all those things, whether we are or not, I don't know. But so I'm working to see if we can partner and get someone in who's an expert in robotics. So to work with our students and be able to provide the materials and supplies. So that would be an example of a funding source where I would say, foundation, our kids want to start a robotics club, but it's really expensive in terms of consumables. Would you be willing to spend this much money for a startup for our robotics program? And that would be a request or a need, potentially, for the foundation.
Is there any issue with parking? It just seems like there's not enough spots, especially for students are driving and.
We're going to have a problem. So the other piece of it is we've tried partnering with just even across the street with a closed facility, and we offered to pay them, and we offered to issue a certificate of liability, and they turned us down. So parking is going to be a challenge, especially because Jefferson is being turned into a bike lane, or they're putting bike lanes in so there will be no parking on Jefferson. Starting, they had told me it would be done before back to school night. So that led me to go next door. If you don't know about next door, meaning over our fence line to the right, it is a government facility, which I did not know. I thought it was strange there were no doorknobs on the doors. And so I had the wonderful experience of breaking into a government facility, whereby they do apparently satellite antenna work. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. I just need to use their parking lot. So I got in real big trouble. The next day, the head of security came down, wanting to interrogate me about how I got in. I said, I opened the front door. He goes, you can't. I said, well, it was open. So I did open it. I did not know this was a problem. And I entered, and it was very creepy, and there was no one there. And so I went, hello, and I walked upstairs, and this woman had a breakdown and quickly shuffled me out there and said, where's your badge? Where's your badge? I said, I don't have a badge. I'm here to ask you about your parking lot. We have back to school night. Who are you? I'm the principal of Tide. What is Tide?
So much for their
The
submission.
name is on the building. It's right next door to you. So I now have the names of a lot of people associated with this company, L3.
Oh, it's L3?
Yes. Is that a big deal?
Yeah, we can talk.
Okay, so, well, apparently I did a big deal. So after that, I was a little gun shy, but I thought I must persevere, because that's what we teach our students, is perseverance. So I went across the street to Pan Pacific Mechanical, and walked in there, and they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh God, here we go again. Like, I don't know what you people do. I just need to use your parking lot for our families for back to school night. So I'll be blasting something out or putting something on the website about where you can park. Also found out from Facebook that our students, I put it in one of the emails to you, that they're not supposed to technically use the Facebook lanes, but they're not going to stop them.
Where
However,
else would they go? They would just go on the street?
well, it's a private property, and it's a liability. So, but unofficially, they can use the Facebook bike lanes. And in addition, though, they cannot use the Facebook bikes. So we had bikes on campus today. It is a big fat no-no, and we do not want to break our relationship with Facebook, because I'm working with their transportation department. I'm trying to get our staff on the Facebook buses right now, which is also a no-no. Liability. I told them I guarantee your legal department can figure this out, but I'm still in the holding pattern. So from a school perspective, so students are under our jurisdiction from the moment they So they can have a lot of consequences, which I do not want to dole out, if in fact we do find students who are taking the Facebook likes, because that is a liability, it's also a fact. So they are going to be identifying students, I'll be meeting with them, hopefully to stop the practice, because again, I really want us to have, we've got a good partnership, good thing going, and I want us to maintain that, especially to talk about internships and opportunities for our kids. That's going to be imperative that we show good behavior so that we can continue to hopefully get in the front door. On their way to school. Yeah. They are all over, but we definitely cannot have them on our campus. That is not a good look. Probably couldn't get them off our campus because I didn't have time to write it back on Facebook. But I didn't want to get in trouble again because I just feel like I've got trouble in the last 10 days.
Talking about the minimum days, you say it's every third Thursday of the month or the last?
Last Thursday is a 3 o'clock release. So take our Tuesday schedule and repeat Thursday. 3 o'clock release.
So is there going to be an email going out about this? That's tomorrow.
It wasn't. I thought I did put it. Okay.
It's on the calendar, it's in the calendar.
And it's on the calendar. Yeah.
It's all very pretty clear.
I didn't see it.
There was also a contact form which went out recently, asking people for their email address and contact information. It might have taken some people have the wrong one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the website, I think on the bell schedule, you can print it out, I think it's.
On the bottom of the bell schedule too.
Yes, I think it's very, it's written out, like, I mean, it's complicated, but it's really clear, but you just print it out.
But we also, our email list is funky, so it is possible. Okay, I wasn't on it. I had to anyway. But maybe using those emails.
If they just filled out that form and sent it in there, why would you suggest?
That's true.
About refilling it out, if you have it here, then it's for, get back to the form. We didn't see that. I have an extra copy. Not even gonna get rid of it.
Did any of you get forms from your kids asking for your contact information?
For registration, when you register, when you register, yes. I didn't get the form about this meeting either, my son didn't bring one home, he said he didn't get one.
I didn't hear.
No, he didn't get one.
I didn't have that until email.
We sent them out, we sent them home. I guess we need to get those envelopes back for you. My mom used the hot lunch form inside for me. School secretary process. Any other questions?
So the PE, they go to the PE class, but then they also have to have outside exercise. Is this what Micah just sent me this? I have to log, or he logs it and I have to sign it?
Yes.
And what is the requirement?
What did Dr. Koch tell you?
2 hours
2 hours
outside.
outside.
A
per
month, a week?
A week.
A week. So, but I even consider we have I call them our biker bunch, our students that bike to school, not that it's an hour bike ride, but that is, a form over time that you can collect those hours. Hopefully, you're going to the track with your child, or they're doing diving or ballet or karate, taekwondo, baseball, volleyball, whatever it might be. And if not, I'm hoping a lot of our students are going to join our cross-country team. I've voluntold too that they will, so I think it'll be good for them.
There's another badminton school connection.
Yes. Yes.
That's the best and that's a lot. So it's pretty good school too.
Yeah, we're off of that in the spring.
All you're doing that.
Badminton.
Okay.
Yeah, and so hopefully that'll give us enough time to figure out how to partner with our friends over here. Although Dr. Koch and I spoke, and he thinks that we can even just host it on our facility, because badminton does not require a lot. We can put it in the PAC, or the Performing Arts Center. That's pretty easy. If we needed to do it here, we could.
I spoke to them last year and was just looking at Teddy at that time because Ali was there, it was 3 times a week. Teddy ever considered cheap badminton. So I just asked them, and there are certain hours they can always let school do it. So they have this kind of arrangement that you can pick up.
Cool. find, let's say, this year it's $20,000, well, we don't have $20,000 in our budget, but that would be another example of the foundation supporting athletics, for example.
The cross-budget clubs, which you mentioned earlier, which is twice in the mornings because in the afternoon or something.
It's to be 4 days a week, 2 mornings and 2 afternoons.
This is from here, where is it?
There you do all sorts of courses. So again, that's why we want we don't need to have any field trips from specific sport. But once they get their athletic clearance, I think a lot of the running will be down in the Bedwell Park area because there's tons of trails. And Dr. Koch went ahead and he biked all of them, and he and Alana went and ran them. So we've got a good team effort going on here, which is really cool. I think based on our participation in cross country, I think we might have an opportunity to host track and field in the spring. It would just depend on the participation rate, because Dr. Koch could do badminton, and he's okay to do track and field. Or she would do the track, or he would do the field probably. So I do think it's something we're going to offer. Because I left it on the form that'll go out to families. Correct. Yes. But as soon as we get you all on Canvas, I'm going to be pushing everything out through there because I know it's a comprehensive list. You can download the app on your phone, and then you can do push notifications. So that's going to be a better way for me to catch all parents. I just need to make sure I get you all signed up. So that's going to be something technical that we're going to need to talk about next week at Back to School Night. Thank you all. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Because at first I think the boys felt a little rough when you start, like maybe not sure if they made the right decisions or anything, but now they're just really enjoying it, talking about cool stuff, and it's just like they're getting to think, and I think it's your energy and your solution-oriented responses that they're really good.
Thank you very much. It's very rare that thank you all for coming. And then again, just remember that we'll always follow this up on Friday morning in case that works better for your schedules. So we will be posting this as soon as possible, all the dates for the year, both on our calendar and on our parent community page that I just created today. So thank you all. And thank you.